All right, pre-show shenanigans, Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys had a great long weekend. I know I did. It was Saturday, early morning, recovering off a bit of a fun Friday night, and I check. Well, I don't have Instagram, but I saw on Twitter. But my brother, uh, also quick side note, by the way, all the Ohio State players, they made Finstas, but they're public. And they just use their Finstas just way more than their regular Instagram account. And like, if they're just going to random post stuff on their stories, they'll do it on their Finsta. So let's just say my brother and I, we know where, at the minimum, where Garrett Wilson, Olave, and JMO are located at 24/7 throughout the year. We know where they are at all times. So we can keep that at the minimum. Okay. But we also have access to Emeka Egbuka, current Ohio State wide receiver, projected to literally go top 10 next year, which I was kind of like shocked to see based off what I was seeing last year. But I looked up his stats, Everett. I think he finished the year with like 1,200 yards. I think 700 of them came after the catch.
Yeah. And he's from Ohio State. Ohio State receiver doing pretty well right now.
But anyway, over the weekend, my local football field right by me, even though I didn't go to high school there, but right next to me, we kind of realized like Emeka Egbuka on his story, that background looks awfully familiar to the football field, literally 2 blocks away. Whenever it was in LA, also quick little fun story. I don't get up early. Also with the time changes, you're naturally getting up earlier than me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you like to go make a little walk over to Noah's Bagels, and you're passing by the Pali football stadium. That's where they were practicing. That's where they were playing. I might just kind of just dox where it is. I'll bleep that out. Let me remember that one. But while there, we quickly noticed on the story, we're like, wait a second, that's where it is. And also we noticed it. We noticed it was them, and we knew they were within a mile of us. So like any Ohio State fan would do from LA, like all 12 of us, because no Ohio State fans are in LA. So naturally, my brother and I, we went up and checked it out. And while we were there, we showed up a little bit later, like an hour or two after he threw that up in his story, when he was like actually like, I say he was out there running routes and stuff. I doubt they were actually doing anything, even like beforehand. But by the time we show up, we just noticed like a bunch of like high school kids. It was like a high school camp, just like running routes and stuff. And while we were there, we noticed one guy throwing the ball where it clearly looked much different than any other kid throwing. And also he was essentially a foot taller than everybody and just had a 6-pack. I didn't know it at the time, but I found out later that was former all-time great legendary Michigan quarterback and current Tennessee starter Joe Milton. This man, there's a viral video going around of him throwing a ball 80 yards, Everett. 80 yards, okay? They had it set up kind of looking like the NFL Pro Bowl, where they had like a little like throwing station, like little targets to hit. Joe Milton was standing 60 yards away on the 40-yard line, but like past the 50. He's throwing 60 yards and just perfectly hitting all of these little targets. And I was sitting there just like, you know what my first thought about that was, Everett? Damn, why couldn't Michigan turn this guy into the next Cam Newton? Why did he have to go to Tennessee? And that's how he becomes a great quarterback. The only thing I could think about is former NFL quarterback Jim Harbaugh and his lack of ability when it comes to developing college quarterbacks. That's the only thing I could think of. It's the only thing I could have thought of. But at the time, we didn't realize it was Joe Milton. We just saw a 6'4", 6'5" dude with a 6-pack just clearly out throwing every kid. We're like, you think, damn, these high school kids are big. Like, you think he's like a junior? No. This guy's like a 5th year in college, way older than me. But I saw him ripping it, and then obviously saw Emeka Egbuka there with 2 incoming Ohio State receivers from South Florida, Carnell Tate and Brandon Innes. They were there as well. We were waiting for an abnormally long time, trying to like see if they would like walk off to the side a little bit so we can like say what up. But they were posted up right underneath the field goal like goalpost the whole time. They were just sitting underneath there, like literally all.
You're on the road, or are you sitting in the stands?
Like in the stands right now.
Okay.
To get on the field, you had to have a pass. Where my brother and I were quickly thinking, like, could we ask this little 18-year-old photographer to let us take a picture and go back, run to our room, and go Photoshop one so we can get on the field and meet them? Like we were literally considering everything. But we were waiting abnormally long to see them. And by the time we were like, all right, we're not going to meet the Ohio State guys, we just noticed one guy just walking literally right next to us, full gray sweatsuit and a hat. And at first glance, I'm like, what is that? Oh my, that's Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart's kid is I think the JV starter. So I guess you could say backup quarterback in a way, but he's the JV starter at Mater Dei, which is where Bryce Young went, where Matt Leinart went, where like Matt Barkley, Carson Palmer, all of them, everyone went there. JT Daniels, all of them. So we just see him just walking by because his son was at the event, because his son was like participating in the literal event itself. He was just like, said, "What up, bro?" He was just there. My first takeaway was just like, wow, Matt Leinart is just significantly tall, and like the way he dressed in the full sweatsuit, that's like how I imagine a athlete dressing like post-retirement when they're done. Like it was like the most stereotypical like retired athlete or former athlete going to watch their kids play of all time. It was just vintage, just screaming. Like if you knew Matt Leinart, you could recognize him from a mile away. You're like, yep, that's exactly what he would be wearing to this. But I saw him, saw all the other boys. It was kind of just like interesting just to see them in a little bit of a weird way, like also in a fan way. It's also weird that Emeka Egbuka, Carnell Tate Brandon, they're all younger than my brother and I. Like it's a weird stage of my fandom ever. And you're about to approach it. Like arguably there might be a player or two on their current team that's younger than you now, but you're about to get that stretch where, oh my God, every guy we draft is younger than me. This is weird. I'm like scouting and looking at kids multiple years younger than me now. And it just feels so strange. It feels so weird.
Did you happen to see the reigning Waterboy Lefty Dick Strong award winner?
So also Michael Pratt, Tulane star quarterback, Waterboy, Lefty Dick Strong Player of the Year award winner, inaugural Lefty Dick Strong winner. He was also there, but apparently he was only there on Sunday. I was there on Saturday. I did not get to see him. If I knew he was there, well, first things first, I could have picked him out from a mile away because there were like only high schoolers there. Joe Milton. Yeah, I would have picked him out instantly. And I'm based on my knowledge and my ability to put face to name and recognize, I'm pretty sure I would have realized it. And oh yeah, like I would have ran over security guards to get on the field to meet him. 100%. Actually, I wouldn't have even needed to do that because I just would have said from the silence, like, that's the Lefty Dick Strong quarterback of the year. He would have heard it, he would have noticed it, and just walked over to me. You know,
yeah,
that's how it would have gone. But I wasn't there for the second day, but was kind of cool getting to check out some stuff. I was also joking with my brother, like, you want to just like forge like a fake high school ID, say we're 17, and just try this camp.
Just get documentation, everything.
See what we could do.
It's have you seen the meme? It's the piece of paper they hand the ump in it's like in the sand lot or something.
I am 12.
I am 12.
It's $20 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic.
Just do that. It's classic.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I could think of was when my older brother and two of his good friends, they were in 8th grade. They lied, pretended they were in 6th grade to play in a flag football league where Miller Moss, current USC backup, was their quarterback. Kind of a fun little thing. They were all 6 foot. It's pretty obvious they weren't 10 years old. But anyway, that was the pre-show shenanigans. Fun little weekend, fun little sports time story. But yeah. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Finals preview. The NBA Finals are set. The Boston Celtics, they did it. They came back down 3-0, beat the Miami Heat to go take on the Denver Nuggets. We couldn't do it, Everett.
Hold on. And congratulations to Miami Heat for not choking away a 3-0 lead somehow. I don't know how that happened.
So,
But,
I mean, I would go back and edit this, but I'm not going to.
oh,
We
no,
are
no, no, no. We're
recording this
leaving both
before-
of them in.
We're
They're
recording
both
this
in.
one before. We don't know what the result of game 7 is, but
Starts in literally an hour.
all I gotta say is it doesn't matter what the result of this game is because it's Nuggets in 5.
Yeah.
It's Nuggets in 5. It's Nuggets in 5. It doesn't matter who they play.
Okay, you know what?
Nuggets in
While
5.
we're on the topic, obviously this will
Wait,
be coming out.
I have a debate to embrace, but go on. But
Okay.
I have a debate now.
This is, just keep that on the tip of your tongue. As this is coming out after game 7, obviously we're gonna know where the games, where the series lies. But out of every single game in this series, the biggest one that is up for debate is game 6. Game 6 on last Saturday on the 27th, May 27th. I don't know if you've read into this, but obviously there's this whole issue with the Celtics getting 0.9 seconds put back on the clock after Jimmy Butler was fouled.
Big conspiracy.
And on top of that, the referee crew that is the ref who
for
was
tonight or last night, Eric Lewis.
Eric Lewis obviously is currently being investigated, but according to my boots on the ground source, the ref.
I'm sorry, you can't just say the term "boots on the ground" source and act like we can just dilly dop around that. What are you talking about? On the ground source? You have a man inside the NBA,
inside the Miami Heat stadium last game.
Okay.
But the referee Tony Brothers was apparently at this past game. He was reffing this past game. The Heat are a combined 0-10 game and record-wise when Tony Brothers and Scott Foster have reffed. That was during the regular season. They obviously lost yesterday, or the game 6. Scott Foster and Tony Brothers will both be reffing today. So
I don't know about you, Everett, but it sounds to me like Adam Silver has called in the extender, or
the fixer.
In this case, the closer.
The fixer.
They called in Scott Foster. They're gonna get the job done tonight. No question about it. I was saying this earlier, but game 6 was game 7, guys. Game 6 was game 7. If
you can't lose a game,
losing that game at home, there's no coming back now, especially in that fashion.
Losing that game and then losing it in that fashion, that will do a number on you. And the bigger thing is, look, they came back. They kind of looked like, obviously, I mean, there's some real funny, weird stuff going on considering the Heat took a lead and then you got a foul, a tech, a goaltend, another foul, and immediately the Celtics have a 10-point lead in the span of a minute. Literally every single call. I have never seen that in my life.
I thought it was very cute seeing a couple of Celtics fans complain. It was a double dribble on Jimmy Butler. He shouldn't even be able to shot free throws. Guys, how were you even able to be there in the first place again? Let's just,
I
quick reminder.
I have not seen a game turn out and the things happen in the game in this kind of fashion since probably that Lakers Kings Western Conference final. No, seriously. These things that are happening, it is very odd the way in which the timing in which they're happening, and Eric Lewis being involved, the records being involved with Tony Brothers and Scott Foster.
Well, also the video of Eric Lewis, it was game 1, and you see after
the Heat make.
It's oh my God, dude, make it any less obvious, please. Just help yourself out here, dude. At this point, I'm not even trying to make fun of you and your career anymore. Dude, make it less obvious, please. It's so bad. Yeah, but
if the Celtics win this series, I fully blame the NBA and the ref crew for cheating.
Yeah, there's no possible way. They're also the first team in NBA history to come back from down 3-0 and have game 7 be a home game. The only time it's happened in the past, if it was a lower seed going up against a higher seed. So with that in play too, it's oh my God, Celtics really might get this done.
Something is stinky in the NBA right now.
Yeah, let's just say after that Lakers miss, they were okay, we can't go 0 for 2.
LeBron is LeBron is saying some very strongly worded things to the NBA script writers right now.
Yeah, let's just say when it comes to the NBA script writers and stuff, when I look at some throwback NBA scripts that were thrown around, In my opinion, they didn't take enough advantage of the Chris Paul to the Lakers script writing. Like, obviously it wasn't going to happen, but they should have built that up a little bit more in terms of a plot line, a story point, something to kind of get the people talking a little bit more about Kobe Bryant, of course. But NBA scripts and stuff, the worst script of all time. Well, also, to be fair, I don't know how they convinced Kevin Durant to go to the Warriors, accept the full heel role. Like, I don't know how they got KD to sign on to that, like knowing how sensitive he is when it comes to people just DMing him or just adding him online. So like that, I guess, pretty impressive. I'm pretty sure at the time it was David Stern or no. Adam Silver.
2012 was when David Stern, I think.
Was it? Oh, okay. So yeah, much later, Adam Silver conducted this whole thing.
Adam Silver became commissioner.
It's really hard to top LeBron coming back down 3-1 against the greatest basketball team in the regular season assembled. That's the greatest storyline they'll ever have. It's gonna be really tough to top that one. It's gonna be really, really difficult. But we'll see what they can do. Oh, also, last thing I had to say, Everett, it's never a good sign by Miami when you're publicly announcing that you already have your flights booked and scheduled to Denver after this game. That's not a good sign. You can't have that get out in the public before Game 7. The second the game's over, if you win, you obviously have to bring that up, but not before Game 7. That's bad. That's bad juju. That's bad karma. I don't like this for the Heat.
I'm really surprised we have not seen any comments out of the Heat organization about the way the game's been reffed.
Yeah, I think I feel like it might look a little bad, might reflect a little poorly if you're complaining going up.
I mean,
even though they have the right to, but I could see it could look a
also
little bad. And also the Heat aren't the team to really.
I might have missed it, but I also find it very interesting that there has been no reports coming out from the reffing committee on adding time back to the clock. Why they added time back to the clock in the last.
So if it were, I mean, I didn't look, but if it were up to me, I would guess that they started the clock late on the inbound of that Jimmy Butler.
Well, the issue
that's what I would
that
guess.
probably it would have had to have been it, because when Jimmy was coming up, like the foul happens on a shooting motion. When he's a first second he is touched, it was 2.1 seconds left on the clock. So there's something everybody needs an explanation, because otherwise everybody's going to be sitting here and calling bullshit on that win.
Well,
and obviously, like it's regardless of how bad officiating is, it's still on the Heat to defend. Like, that is part of your job. And I will give it to Max Strus. Like, he still did. Derek White shouldn't have gotten that rebound, but he still defended that shot pretty well.
Well, this is what I was going to say. So right before that play, like one thing that they were making a big deal, the commentators, whoever the hell,
the inbound, the pass back to Derek White.
Well, what they were making a big deal is how Max Strus, instead of facing Derek, so also keep in mind,
he faced in court. He faced the inward court.
Inbounded the play and then made the putback. That's just ridiculous to think about. Like, he inbounded the ball and then when scored that, that's just crazy. But with Max Strus not facing Derek White and facing Tatum, essentially, that's pretty much who was guarding. By doing that gave Derek White the lane to just immediately sprint to the basket.
The thing was, there was a
lot
of time between when Derek White inbounded the ball and when he came back through for that rebound, because Marcus Smart shot.
Yeah, in real time, I didn't think he got it off.
Yeah, Marcus Smart took that shot, took that three, and I still think there was time. I don't know what Max Strus was doing, but Max Strus was directly on top of Derek White when.
I'll have to rewatch it, but like, he probably just got a little lost. Like, hey, in terms of the literal inbounding play part, forget the putback, but the Heat he ran the right play by letting Marcus Smart get that shot and just denying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, that was the right decision.
Regardless of if the Celtics or the Heat win this next game, and we'll find out.
Nuggets in 5.
Also, this series will forever be attached with the way the officiating went. Yeah, especially if the Celtics win. We'll see what happens.
And I also think, I mean, like, I don't know, we'll see, but I think this is a series that we might remember for a couple of years to come, of course, because it's going to be the first 3-0 comeback. Well, we are also assuming that the Celtics are going to win, which I really
Assume the
hope
worst.
I really hope the
Yeah.
Heat win. It's just I've never seen momentum shift back to Boston like so quickly
Hey,
in
you
a
know what?
series, despite being down.
Adam
I've never
Silver,
seen
you
this.
got your money out of the series. Okay. I'm sorry the
To a
Lakers
degree,
got
yes.
swept. You got your money out of it. Let the Heat win. We can all be happy.
Damn, just to think of how many superstars are just bounced. Like MVP bounced, KD bounced, LeBron bounced, Curry bounced. A lot of big names. Giannis bounced. A lot of big names out. Yeah.
Embiid.
Yeah.
Bounced.
The faux MVP bounced. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things
Okay.
going on. But
anyways, yeah.
I got, other than the NBA, a little.
You said you had a little. You said you had a debate.
Oh yeah, embrace debate. Oh yeah, sorry, embrace debate. If you're the Miami Heat right now, okay, what would be more of a win? Okay, Miami Heat perspective, okay, because I was gonna do this with the Celtics, but then I realized that coming back 3-0, regardless how the NBA Finals goes, that's a dub no matter what. Just coming back down 3-0. But if you're the Heat, would it be worse to lose this game to the Celtics, get reverse swept, first time ever in NBA playoffs, or would it be worse to win this game 7 and then get swept in the NBA Finals, completely uncompetitive?
From a PR, like I think that if you win this game and then you get swept, everybody's gonna be like, the Celtics would have at least made it competitive. Like what? Like you shouldn't have been there. The Celtics would have made it competitive.
I didn't even think about that, but I actually think you're right.
I know that that's going to be the case, but from my team standpoint, the effect on my morale, on my history, on the way people look at my organization, getting reverse swept. Oh no. Like this is something that I was going to say.
Come back from that. As a man who
the Lakers got swept. I would much rather be swept than get reverse swept.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh,
100%.
Yes.
It looks so much worse to get reverse swept. Bring in the fucking Call of Duty experts. Bring in the CDL.
Everett, shit, you just made the best point out of all of it. There's actually no worse feeling than getting reverse swept.
Reverse sweeps. Seriously.
You know, you're right. You are right. You are right.
That is
Heat got to win tonight. Don't even
have to win.
It's the NBA Finals. It doesn't matter. It's to a degree, it's like that Lakers, the Lakers Kings series where the winner of that's winning the NBA Finals. The winner of this is losing the NBA Finals no matter what. So like,
and if the Heat lose it, then you're just losing life. You're losing at life, essentially. You're losing at your sport. You're the NBA.
It's gonna be a brutal, rough awakening. But yeah, little NBA talk. I think last thing in terms of the NBA Finals, you know what, like, good for the NBA that didn't end up being Heat Nuggets. My God, would that have been a snoozer? Like at least Celtics Nuggets. I think the Nuggets might be the most entertaining team to watch. Which I mean, obviously for us personally,
for my own sake, but
the Nuggets are
for my own sake, I need the Heat to win this game and be somewhat competitive because if I have to cheer between the Nuggets and the Celtics, I'm going to be so sad. I will cheer for the Nuggets.
Shot for the Nuggets, though.
I will fully cheer for the Nuggets if it's between them and the Celtics, but I'd much rather cheer for the Heat.
Well, also, it's like even though we lost the Nuggets, so I hate them, but it's the Celtics. No.
Yeah,
anyone
exactly.
Over the Celtics.
Okay, let's get
Clippers Celtics. Who would you pick to win the NBA Finals? Quick little.
I would have to cheer for the Clippers.
Yeah, I think I would have to also.
I'd have to cheer for the Clippers.
It's crazy to say, but I think I'd have to.
It's like if the Padres and Yankees are playing in the World Series.
Or if somehow the Padres and Giants were playing in the World Series. Or like to go to the World Series. Like
I'd kind of have to cheer for the Padres.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. It's crazy, but yeah. Fuck yeah, we'll be Manny fans for a week. But yeah, MLB talk. Nice little transition. Dodger trade deadline. Quick little preview. This is going to become more in depth in the upcoming weeks once we learn a little bit more about the Dodger health, like Julio's timeline for return and things like that. But as of right now, end of May, we're going to consider this the June 1st episode. As of this, it's going to be the trade deadline. We're going to be active this year, boys. We're back. We're buying. We're back. But I got overall position groups to acquire. Then I got players of those position groups to acquire. Quick shout out to the NL Central. We're about to ravage that division. Then I got some potential prospects to trade. And then I have 2 untradeable prospects. And I'll be giving some quick reasonings why they're untradeable. So first, the position groups. Everett, of course, we've been talking about this. Starting pitcher and relief pitcher. Of course, we've been talking about it. We need to get more arms. Fun fact of the day, Everett. Guess where the Los Angeles Dodgers bullpen ranks when it comes to team ERA this season? Hint, I was lying bad last time we discussed this. Oh, yikes. Other side of the halfway point.
23?
24th. You were really close. We are currently ranked as the 24th best bullpen in Major League Baseball. We need bullpen help. There's no secret there, no surprise, nothing crazy. And then when it comes to overall team ERA, we're also in the bottom 10.
Is this post injuries or this including everybody?
This is as of today. When I literally
it's just the players that are not including IL or including
IL. Yes.
God damn it, Noah Syndergaard.
Well, he doesn't count to bullpen.
Oh, does he not?
He ain't even in those numbers, man. So yeah, these are just the relievers. So the relievers definitely need help too. When it comes to starters,
I thought this was the starting rotation.
No, just relievers. So, when it comes to starters, just on paper, just saying this out loud, I kind of like this rotation a lot this offseason happening. Now, we love you, Dustin. But if the rotation was Julio, Kershaw, somehow Walker comes back, and then the 4 is Dustin, oh my God, we don't need to go after a starter. That's not going to happen with Dustin. And I also don't know Walker's scenario. So as of right now, with no trades, Everett, it's probably going to be Julio, Kershaw, Gonsolin, and then pick your poison, Everett. Gavin Stone, Bobby Miller, or Noah Syndergaard. You pick.
Give me Bobby. Give me Bobby.
Give me Bobby. Obviously, we cannot trust any of those last 3 names I just listed. Tony's gonna have to pitch in that 4 slot, which I'm fine with. But for those other 3, we're gonna have to get a starting replacement. So we got all pitchers are on the table.
Let's just also state, by the way, that currently with Julio on IL, the starting the rotation is Kershaw, Gonsolin, Stone, Miller, and Syndergaard. Those are the available pitchers.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's a bleak, dark outlook for the month of May, early June, pre-Julio, Everett. I'm not trying to fight you on that. But in terms of the fielding positions, now, Dodgers offense has been doing very well, of course, but there's obviously some guys that we could get that could really plug in some holes. Positions I want to target: shortstop and outfield. So those are the 2 positions I'm looking for. The way JD's hitting right now, no need to go after like a DH target, because I know there's a lot of DHs available for trade at the deadline, but we're not looking for another DH. So shortstop, outfield, starter, and reliever. Those are the 4 position groups that I'm
Let's
going
clarify
after.
left field. Let's clarify
specifically left field. But there are a couple names I'm about to mention where if we had them, we're putting them in center and Outman is moving. Well, right now Outman sucks ball, so he's not in the lineup, but David Peralta would be moving over or someone. But I just said outfield in general. But yes, left field, technically. But I have some players and some packages, because a good amount of these players happen to be on the same teams. 3 of them, 3 sets of players that I'm about to list. So first, I'm also going to list these trades in order of how badly I want them, Everett, also to a degree. First trade that I would want to go after very badly could be a package deal, but the main player I want, David Bednar, righty reliever from the Pirates. Okay. I want him badly. He's having a phenomenal season. He'd be excellent for the Dodgers. He's who I want. If we want a package deal, though, give me Bednar and give me Brian Reynolds, switch hitting outfielder. He would play center for us, move Outman over, and we add a switch hitter to the lineup, which is extremely valuable. So if we can pull off Reynolds and Bednar, I would love this trade. This is my number one trade that I would like to make, actually. I would take this over the Corbin trade.
So the issue is Brian Reynolds might be their most valuable player right now.
True, but they're selling. And he's up for contract soon. So you might as well trade him to get value. Also, we have this up. I got the standings. Right now, the Pirates are 1.5 games back of the Brewers. Cardinals are 5 games out. Reds are 4 games out. Most people would probably agree that they are shocked that the Pirates are doing this well right now. Also keep in mind O'Neal Cruz, he's out right now. He's not even playing for them. So the Pirates also have some injuries that they're dealing with. So the fact that they are 1.5 games out, I can see us having to maybe overpay for them. I could see that.
I honestly
they could be on the fence, but we'll see how the next month plays out.
We'll see how it goes. I think that if they're still within reach of that first spot, if they're a game, 2 games behind, they're not trading. They're not going to be selling like that.
Well, the Brewers were leading the NL Central and traded Josh Hader to the Padres.
Yeah, but look where they're at now. Look how they're doing now. Look how the Pirates are doing now, and they're also a young team. So if they're building up, they might not be like.
Well, they have other. Well. This is the thing. Pirates, in terms of, let me look up. I could peep the farm system rankings that they'll pull up in a sec. But
no, they have one of the best farms in the MLB. Oh, I know that.
Ooh, I actually think we might be incorrect on that one. Everett. It's shocking. I don't think it's that high. As of right now, the Pirates are ranking around 8th in farm system. So top half, pretty good. We could put them top 5 though, with a trade. And I think they're looking at that over than their chance to compete right now. And I like our odds to be able to cop those guys. I would want Bednar over Reynolds though. So that's the first one I'm really looking at. Second one, this was gonna be way harder. Obviously, Corbin Burns and Devin Williams. So right now, Brewers leading the division. It's going to be harder. But after seeing them give up Josh Hader, anything's on the table for me. I don't know how their organization operates anymore. I have no idea. Maybe I think the Cardinals will come back and win their division. Maybe that's what their numbers tell them. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. I really like Burns and Devin Williams, though. I think we could actually pull it off. We're gonna have to give up a lot. We're about to go over the prospects I give up, but we're gonna have to give up a lot. But I'd still like it a lot. Let's say we don't get any package deals, and let's say we just trade for Corbin Burns, okay? This is the reliever that I really, really want to get, okay? This is the guy that I think we actually could have a really good shot at too. Alexis Diaz, right-handed reliever from the Cincinnati Reds. They're 4 games back in the NL Central right now. I actually think this guy will be on the block, and I think we could acquire him. Alexis Diaz, quick little... Everett, just to get you quickly excited for him real quick. 1.7 ERA this year, 20.2 innings, 40 strikeouts. He averages 2 strikeouts per appearance. A reliever, yes. So I'd be a very, very...
How many innings pitched did you say? 20?
21. 20.2. But 21, 40 straight. So yeah, that we could use because we're actually ranking the bottom or in the lower 10 teams when it comes to strikeouts in the MLB.
That doesn't surprise me.
So we don't get strikeouts.
All right, who would you be trading for him?
Oh, sorry. Last trade that we've mentioned a lot. Tim Anderson, Luis Robert. That's the last one I'd go after. At the end of the day, we need to fix the pitching. It's not the position players. So it's like, it'd be a fun, big name superstar trading.
So
after, but
let me ask you this then, before you get into the prospects that you would be trading. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers are rumored to be the
favorite. If he's on the deadline, then everything I just mentioned.
So do you think the Dodgers would be able to land Shohei and other players, or it's just literally Shohei?
So, the first thing I'm thinking about is to get the trade for Shohei. My first thought is the only competitors for that trade, in my opinion, would be us and the Padres. And I wouldn't really put
the Mets are in there too, I think.
Oh, wow. For Shohei's sake, we're crossing them off the list too. And also the Mets don't really have prospects to give up.
No, they lost. They burned them all.
Yeah, and I mean they're not giving up my boy KP. They're not giving up Kevin Parada, so that's definitely not on the table. Kevin Parada is better than Shohei Ohtani. But Shohei Ohtani, I think it's us and the Padres' best chance to do a trade. I still think though that it would be in the Angels' best interest to not trade him up and just try everything humanly possible to convince him. I do 100%, think that's in their best interest.
But I don't think that that's going to happen.
I know, we'll see. I've seen a lot of rumors are ramping up of the Shohei trade deadline. The Angels might actually trade him away. If I were the Angels, I wouldn't do it. If he is available though, Everett, all of it, take it all.
So what would your hypothetical package look like?
So if it was a Shohei Ohtani package, I feel like we'd have to give up 5. I'd say we'd have to give up at least 2 top 30 prospects, another top 50, and then 2 more guys. So, and also keep in mind though, we're outbidding the Padres here. Keep that in mind, okay? And the
Padres burned a lot of their shit last year, to be fair.
Yeah, the Padres currently rank around 23rd, 24th in farm system rankings. So they don't have much to give up. And that's the buyer's market. So based on the Padres, okay, I'd say the preliminary talks would be something along the lines of Michael Busch, Gavin Stone, maybe also Ryan Pepio, which is another name that fuck. I know he's on the injured list right now, but shit. Let him go. Shit, it's Shohei Ohtani. Michael Busch, Stone, Pepio. And then I think after that, we're going to have to look a little bit lower into maybe some position players or whatnot. One guy doing really well right now, Eddie's Leonard, that I'm considering, even though I really like him a lot. But he's potentially on the move. Oh, this is another thing, though. Right now, Everett, I took a quick gander this morning at the AA boys for the Dodgers right now. Everett, I want you to guess how many pitchers we have with sub-2 ERAs.
4.
We have 7 pitchers with sub-2 ERAs. I guarantee you at least 2 of them will not be here, and they'll probably play for the Angels.
Yeah.
So
you don't think, by the way, the Dodgers would be trading Cartaya or Miller?
Is not available.
Miller also.
Bobby Miller is the other untouchable. So I was going to get to that. The 2 untradeable prospects Bobby Miller, I have a slight asterisk next to. If it's Shohei, then yeah. But when it came to those original ones of Brian Reynolds, Bednar, Burns, Devin Williams, all those guys, no, we're not giving you Bobby Miller. Shohei's different. But untradeable, Cartaya and Bobby Miller, those are the guys we cannot give up. I know Cartaya's not having a great year this year, but I think long-term, the plan is to have Cartaya catch, move Will Smith to DH, because I don't like how Will Smith bats 4 times a week. He needs to take so many days off. He needs to be hit
permanently DHing.
And yeah, so I'd be okay. I'd also, another thing, this is a new time period because we're now in the NL. We have a DH. I don't mind paying a DH money. I really don't mind doing
Let me ask you, why do you think the Dodgers haven't already done that? Why haven't they moved Will Smith to DH and just sign another catcher?
We just don't have names ready that can come in and compete.
You don't think they just sign somebody in free agency to catch and they just move them DH? You'd be paying them DH money.
There haven't been
anyways.
Big name catchers recently. I guess recently Wilson Contreras was a recent name, but if you look at how he's playing right now in St. Louis,
but you don't need
them. It's Austin Barnes. We dodged a bullet.
I guess JD Martinez is playing really well, to be fair. So
I think for the temporary time being. For the time being, I'm fully okay doing the route of getting a new veteran hitter to DH for around $10 million every year. I'm okay doing that for the time being.
Okay. One last thing I have for the MLB, by the way, Unless you had anything else to say on the trade.
I got it like a couple of more players, like some guys that I think we're gonna be that could be gone. Johnny DeLuca, outfielder, Nick Nastrini, Nick Frasso, River Ryan, Emmett Sheehan, all pitchers, relievers or starters. We're gonna make some moves because we have lots of ammo right now, especially with the way the AA pitchers are playing. So, yeah, I like the.
Last thing I had to say was, this is from Front Office Sports, by the way, Front Office Sports Report. Mariners star Julio Rodriguez is now sponsored by Alaska Airlines. Him as an individual player is sponsored by Alaska Airlines. For every home run that Julio hits in Seattle, 44 fans in the section that it lands will get free round trip flights of their choice to any location. That might be the best,
greatest
sponsorship promo, whatever I have ever heard. Imagine you're just like, you know what? I'm buying a $40 ticket to sit in the outfield at this game today. I might land an $800 round trip just for being there.
Yeah, it's, you know,
if you are a degenerate gambler, I 100% expect you to be probably in those bleachers when Seattle plays. You're risking your money. You're basically getting for a payout.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's just say, phenomenal deal, like phenomenal decision, everything. Like when it comes to like, you know, sports deals or like little promotions around, you know, the famous, of course, is steal a bag, steal a taco, World Series Taco Bell. That's like way too famous right now. But when it comes to that, hit a home run, you get a free flight. That arguably raises the ticket prices of their outfield stands.
Oh, 100%. You're people are probably paying $200, $230, $250.
Oh my God, it all makes sense. Once again, Seattle is like Boeing, the airplane manufacturer. They're based in Seattle. Seattle's like essentially the mecca of plane building. Yep. It even adds up even more. Yeah, this really makes
I'm also pretty sure that's like a big connection hub for Alaska Airlines because it's the closest in the United States you can be.
That as well. That as well. Yeah, see, we're
putting the pieces together. Transitioning real quick. Other thing. This is the only time in our lives either of us will ever mention this sport.
Okay.
College baseball.
I wasn't going to bring this up. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know why.
College baseball. So, Tulane, we are now once again in the news for something that's not beating USC in football, for something that's not football related. If you are not aware, our baseball team went 19-40 this season. Horrific season, didn't play well, 7 seed going into the AAC tournament. Went on a massive Cinderella run and won the AAC this year. We are now the crappiest team to ever go into the Division I tournament. On paper. Record-wise. Let's clarify that. It's the most losses ever by a team that makes it into the NCAA tournament for baseball. So just shout out to the boys, the men's baseball team. Congratulations. Well done. Let's see the Cinderella team. Let's be America's team this year.
I don't really have anything on college baseball. All I know is that the number one player in baseball, he won SEC Player of the Year as a freshman. He won it again last year. He's a junior this year, but he's draft eligible. And I swear the way the draft works, it's either after 2 years or after 4. So I don't know how he's draft eligible.
Who cares?
This guy, Dylan Cruz, though, on LSU, I think this dude has like a career like 600 on base percentage at LSU. It's hilarious. That guy's going to be playing for the wait. I got this. I know who has the number 1 pick in the draft this year. He's going to be playing for the
Oakland A's.
No, it's not them. No, I don't have it. I don't know who it is. It isn't the A's though. It isn't the A's.
Anyways, moving on to the NFL. I have a couple things for us today in the NFL. Just a general switch, a transitional.
A little switch me up. Okay, fair.
Transitional move into the NFL. Fair. I have a top 10 list for us today.
All right.
I have multiple top 10 lists, but this is the first one that we're going to go about because it's not necessarily specific to just the NFL. Um, I have the top 10 most bandwagon teams in the world. That's the list that we have today, or one of the lists we have today.
In the world.
So, in the world, in the entire world. So here we go. 10-1. Honorable mention, whatever team LeBron's on. Pittsburgh Penguins, PSG, Bama football, Duke basketball, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Lakers, the Patriots, the Warriors, and the Yankees.
Yeah, I was also quickly reviewing and thinking about it. If we obviously weren't putting any fans of specific players on there, but after serious debate, fans of Cristiano Ronaldo are the most annoying anything. You could be a Taylor Swift fan. You could be like the BTS stans. They are the most annoying stans of anyone. Ronaldo stans.
Yeah, I think that deserves kind of its own list, and that is something that we'll be
we
curating
can honestly
in the
do
future.
A top 10 of the specific demographics of Ronaldo stans and the 10 different groups of Ronaldo stans.
Every single team that he's been on, national teams.
Yeah, and then you have some players that only liked him for like certain years, so that's another stan subsection. There's a lot of moving parts.
But yeah, so that is the top 10 list for most bandwagony fan bases in the world.
So while we're on the topic of bandwagons, let's start with this. If we turn the clock back 15 years ago, maybe even like 12 years ago, no one would have ever assumed that the Golden State Warriors would become one of the most bandwagon teams.
Oh, 100%.
So let's do a quick little prediction, Everett. Over the next 10 years, who will be a surprising franchise, any sport, any league, that will become dominant and bandwagon worthy? Who would that be?
Wow, it's a
very tough question.
Well, I think that Man City is going to be very heavily bandwagon going forward.
Pretty soon, they're about to win the treble.
I think
start heating up.
I think that OKC could become a bandwagon team.
That's a potential location.
It's a potential. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. I don't like that, but okay.
I'm not saying like they're gonna be like the Chiefs or the Patriots. I'm just saying
Trevor Lawrence. They have Blonde Jesus.
Yeah. The Chiefs are already there. Obviously, the Eagles are not. The Eagles, I think,
USC football
are approaching there. USC football is there. Georgia football, 100%.
Oh yeah, Georgia football,
100%.
They might overtake Alabama soon. I'm trying to
Newcastle.
That's very potential. I'm proud of you for knowing that. Yes. Yeah. That is like very, very, very possible.
Very up
actually.
There.
Very, very possible. Like if I were to say I was a bandwagon of any team this year, I'd say it would probably be Newcastle or Brighton, mainly because of what they did for me in fantasy. But yeah, I think that's a nice little solid, like, NBA. I'm thinking like, what could the Pistons possibly do to ever start competing within the next 10 years? What could they possibly do?
I think they need to start trading. I think they need to make some trades. Honestly, though, I think Cade Cunningham is not going to be there. He's not like the future all-star of that team.
Yeah, I also feel like they just got screwed with that draft class. Like you can just get screwed when you get the number 1 pick if you don't get a Wembanyama like the Spurs do. There's a little bit of luck involved when it comes to these things.
Yeah, I mean, I also can see like the Boston Bruins becoming a bandwagon off of this season too.
I was hearing, I mean, I don't know anything about hockey. I was hearing though that their like core's been together for a while, and that like this year, because they finally had the best regular season ever and then they got bounced, now they're breaking up officially. But I don't know.
Well, maybe not then. Maybe not. I don't know that much.
I don't know.
Okay. Into the NFL for real. That was a great on the spot question. That was really good.
I mean, that's something I literally shit. Fuck. 15 years ago, 12 years ago, the Chiefs were one of the worst teams in the NFL. Look at them now. God damn.
That might be a good clip, by the way. That single, that might be a good clip.
It's just crazy. It is absurd. I literally remember the Chiefs and Titans being 2-14. I don't know why I remember that. I think it was 2014. I don't know why I remember that, but I just remember they were both 2-14. And then
I think the Lions, the Lions are starting to get there too. By the way, not like they're gonna end up like the Chiefs, but they're starting to get kind of heavily rode.
They could pick up some steam here too. Yeah, I like that call as well. Actually, I like that. No, they definitely could. Shit, the Lions. Who would have thought that?
The Bengals are getting up there.
Obviously, the Rams won the Goff Stafford trade because they won a Super Bowl. But if we're talking right now, everyone would rather be on the Lions at the Rams. If you were a coach, you'd pick the Lions over the Rams right now, based on what they currently got.
I mean, if you're also telling me to pick between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff right now, I'm picking Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's also another thing that's just absurd to consider. Crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
McVay
was the problem.
Yeah, this is just a fun little game that I have. I saw this the other day. This is from Beerly Football Twitter profile.
Who?
They gave Beerly Football.
Can you spell that for me, please? BEER.
Beer.
LY.
LY.
Okay.
Beerly Football.
That's amazing.
Out of these 4 wide receivers, who would you most want to choose in their prime? Who would you pick if they're all in
their prime? Now,
all of them are in their prime
for a season or a 3-year stretch. Let's say for a season. Let's
just say a season. You get them for a season, whatever. All of them are in their prime.
All right, Randy Moss.
That's not. No, I'm giving you.
Okay.
Wes Welker, Eric Decker, Adam Thielen, and Julian Edelman.
Give me Wes Welker.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. Wes Welker, Adam Thielen, Eric Decker, Julian Edelman.
Eric Decker over Julian Edelman in their prime. I mean, okay, Everett.
Eric Decker in his prime.
I need to be the guy to do this, but wait, Everett. Why does it happen to be that it's 4 of the scrappiest, hardworking wide receivers? And
that's the whole. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, no, I think some honorable mentions are Chris Hogan, Danny
Amendola, Scotty Miller,
Brian Hartline, just some gritty guys, hardworking,
gritty guys.
First one in, last one in type of guy. Last one out, first one in, last one out type of guys. Not last one in. But
no,
yeah. Oh yeah, Wes Welker for sure.
I thought that was pretty funny. Also, one other thing to note.
It took me a second to realize. You put it together. That's the randomest guy you could have possibly.
He was actually. I'm not gonna. He was actually very good though. There was a stretch
Broncos
where he was
or Jets. Eric Decker.
Broncos.
Yeah. Okay.
Not Jets. Was him and Brandon Marshall. Imagine going from just. You have Brandon Marshall, who for a stretch of time looked like he was gonna be. Basically,
Brandon Marshall was very good at football. I know he's a bear and you hate him, but
yeah. But when he went to the Jets, everybody was like, oh, he's very good. And then obviously you get Eric Decker, who was really good on the Broncos. You're like, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, this is probably the best 1-2 in all of the NFL. And then they did absolutely nothing.
Were they also playing with butt fumble Sanchez?
I think this was Geno Smith.
Oh, even worse. Okay. No, they definitely get a pass then. They definitely get
Speaking of quarterbacks, though, just something that's ironic and has pissed off Devontae Adams, but Jimmy Garoppolo has failed his physical. He failed it back in March, and the Raiders have known about it.
Oh, he was hurt last year.
But he failed it back in March, and the Raiders have been working with his contract since then. He could apparently reportedly lose his entire contract, according to PFT. And the Raiders can move on from him with no extra charge, which means Aiden O'Connell would be the starting quarterback on roster for the Raiders if new partial owner Tom Brady does not step into the shoes.
Cute. Well, Everett, my response to that is if this situation with Jimmy Garoppolo does in fact happen, they actually have an easy solution at quarterback, Everett. He happens to play for the Carolina Panthers right now, used to wear number 9 until that little piece of shit stole it from him like the bully he is. So Matt Corral? Yes, Matt Corral, the former Ole Miss product. Lane Kiffin, the prodigal son of USC. Yes, former product of him. Correct.
I honestly am very surprised Matt Corral is not on a different team right now.
There must be something up.
It has to be. But like it has to be like a very good something up with them. Or
I was really saying like an injury.
Well, he has a Liz Frank injury.
You are allowed to trade NFL players when they're hurt, correct? I know the NBA, you cannot do it.
I think you have to pass a physical. I don't think you can. I don't think you're allowed to.
So maybe he can't even be traded right now.
He has to come because he's not on IR anymore because the season technically. I think maybe he has to pass a physical with your own team before you can get traded. I don't know.
I actually think the MLB is the only league where you're allowed to trade an injured player.
I'm not entirely sure, but the Liz Frank, he should be getting pretty close to being healed up now. But Liz Frank injuries also can be career enders, so we'll see. But other news, Commanders in typical Commander fashion had their trademark application denied for the Commanders title. They might have to change the name again.
So, okay. Took a sports business class over last semester, and my professor was telling me it's one of the easiest ways, to grow merchandise revenue. Team change. If I were the Commanders, I would do a 2-part change name like they literally just did. I go to the football team for a year or two, which I'm not leaving that name off the table, by the way.
No.
It rolls off the tongue.
It's better than the Commanders. Well. It's better than the Commanders.
Washington football team. Is this crazy to say, but would football team work with any other city? Like Los Angeles football team, Dallas football team?
It sounds like a club.
Like, no. It is the Washington football team. That fits so well.
Low key, would Washington football club be even better?
Well, that might be the MLS team, and that's a whole nother copyright thing they have to go to, and they definitely won't win that one. So maybe, I mean,
but
maybe they just go full in Washington Football Academy, fully embrace it. I mean, these are things that we cannot rule off the table. Literally everything is on the table right now when it comes to these names.
Do you think they'd lose a trademark negotiation with Madden if they try to use one of those like made up team names?
Bro, good luck beating EA Sports. Good luck. Good luck.
There's so many. The Nighthawks, the Washington Nighthawks.
Oh, it'd be so funny if for the rest of time.
It's just like
actually, I'm surprised Dan Snyder never did this because I don't know what could possibly be more Dan Snyder than if he denied Madden the rights for access to use the Washington Commanders football team of Redskins in Madden at the time. That would have been the most Dan Snyder move.
Madden has the opportunity to do one of the funniest things in the history of sport games. If the Commanders don't change their name, or even if they do, let's say they don't change it, one of the fictitious teams that Madden can have you moving to Washington to create should be the Washington football team. If they change their name, they should just make it the Washington Commanders. You can now be the
to
Commanders.
Be honest, like let's go past Madden. Let's go into 2K now. Let's go into MLB The Show. They should make expansion teams called the Washington baseball team, the Washington basketball team. Fully embrace the meme. I swear though, just Washington football team. Okay, the syllables there, it's in a descending order. Washington 3, football 2, team 1, 3, 2, 1. Washington football team rolls off the tongue.
All they got to do now. Let's go back to the football team. Let's not use that same logo though. Not use that same.
Yeah,
logo.
No, that one we could change. Yes, I'm with you on that.
New logo.
And that W, right? Was it the block W?
It was in a circle with a W, and it says like 19 or 18, whatever. Let's get that new logo. This is the opportunity to make some of the best uniforms in football.
So they have phenomenal colors. I also just want to say that darker like burgundy type. It's not burgundy,
but maroon red.
Maroon red with the
like
yellow.
Maroon.
It's beautiful.
Like yellow kind of gold.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Also, all I want to say is if they were still the Redskins, the helmet that they should have had was with 2 feathers coming back the sides like this.
Oh, like Florida State, kind of with their like arrow type.
Like, well,
thing,
Florida State
like...
has the arrows going this, but I'm saying like with the Vikings helmets or like even the Eagles helmet, the Eagles have like the birds coming back like this, right? Yeah. I'm saying you just take a really long feather, one fat feather, and you just have it one go this way and one go this way on both sides. So one side, like it's like it would be really. I think it'd be really cool.
I also like wouldn't be against if it was like required that all D line, or not even just D line, but just all defensive players had to do the Sean Taylor like checkered taped face mask. Like that should also like that could arguably just be built into the face mask, where it like naturally the face mask is multicolored to have that.
Yeah.
Because like
anyways,
it's also a damn shame they don't honor him enough. But yeah.
Anyways. Commanders have something.
No, they have a prime time opportunity.
They have a huge opportunity.
But okay, let's embrace debate. What's a bigger opportunity? This opportunity for the Commanders, or Caleb Williams with the attention on his fingernails and using that for NIL deals? What's a bigger opportunity? Let's embrace debate. Both very lucrative.
First and foremost,
very lucrative.
This should be a reoccurring segment. Is embrace debate. Write that down. That's a reoccurring segment.
No, yeah, it's my new favorite term to say right now. Let's embrace debate.
It's your reoccurring
fun
segment.
to do.
Let's mark that down. I think that the bigger thing is probably Caleb Williams with his fingernail painting.
Probably. In terms of an individual perspective.
Yeah, the more fun option is what the Commanders will do.
Yeah, well, we'll call them the football team for the time being. What the football team can do, it's unprecedented. The opportunities, the ROI that they could get. Really, that's what it comes down to.
100%.
To be simply put, to be quite frank, that's what it really comes down to. And if we're going to look at all the graphs, we're going to look at all the numbers, we're going to look at everything, all the projections. You could run, I don't know how many DCFs you want to run on this, but you can run as many as you want. If we're going to break all this stuff down, I do think that it's in best interest for the Washington football team to go football team for a little bit. I think we could go
arguably for forever. Just be the name.
We could throw that in the running as well.
But let's state this now. If whatever their next jersey combo is, right? Yeah. They redo this.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they have you need to make at least new jerseys, because if I see a helmet with a fucking W on the forehead one more time, I'll give it to you. Those black jerseys are pretty clean. The black jerseys are pretty clean.
Yeah, actually, you do.
But they wear a stupid ass alternate helmet with a W on your forehead. You look like Megamind.
Well, we can forward that one over to whoever. Uniform designer? What is that?
Equipment department? Probably.
Can I apply for that position? It's like
uniform Washington designer? hire us. Hire the two of us.
Now my question is, it's another question I have.
But hold on.
Nike makes the jerseys. Obviously, Washington has the major input. Does Washington have a Nike correspondent, or
they work with like the same liaison? I think it's just like the NFL liaison. Anyways,
you know what? That's
the new owner.
My dream job.
If the new
ambassador for Ohio State
if the new owner, that's not how that works though. If the new owner adjusts the team name and makes new uniforms, and let's say these are the best uniforms we've seen them have, you have to stay with that. You can't change the name again and then change the uniforms. You have to say, if you lose those best uniforms that you've ever made, you're losing your fan base immediately.
Yeah, so potentially that's another debate we got to embrace.
Yeah. Okay, we're probably gonna wrap up here in a second. The finals game starts in T-minus 7 minutes, 6 minutes, basically. Unless you have anything else to say, I have the final list, unless we want to hold on to that until next episode.
Oh, what is this list?
Wide receivers.
Let's run it.
Run it. Okay. All right.
I also just want to say, quick preface, by the end of the year, Garrett Wilson will be in this top 10. I just want to start that off with this.
I think he's top 20 right now.
I would say so, firmly.
Yeah, I would say that.
You
could probably get him. I'd probably put him in maybe. He's not he's not like back end 20, but he's like
15, 16.
16.
Like I would say so. Like, I mean, I would rather forget his age. For one season, I'd rather have Garrett Wilson than many, many receivers that were considered elite recently. Like, for example, Amari or Garrett, you know my answer.
Yeah, I
Evans or Godwin or Garrett, you know.
I had to remake this list after our fan favorite company PFF put out them saying one of their correspondents.
We are PFF's biggest stands.
We are, so. Yeah. Anthony Treesh. Anyways, trash incorrectly. PFF Sam said that Davante Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL and will continue to be the best wide receiver in the NFL until somebody clearly topples him, which I responded with, oh, he was toppled 2 more years ago. I mean, Cooper Kupp fucking lit his ass up 2 years ago.
So, I mean, I love Davante Adams. Like, the things he does.
He's a great wide receiver. Not shitting on that.
And trust me, it stings even more because I actually think he like had 450 yards against the Chargers last year in those 2 games. Like, disgusting. So it hurts even more for me. I just do think though that this man Jay Jettas, man, it is. I would rather have Tyreek over him as well. Like, that's not even crazy to say. Like, it's Tyreek Hill, guys. Like, this isn't crazy. And now I think it's Jamar Devontae's, where there could be some days against the Chargers. Give me Devontae. You know, like there's
it's dependent on the team.
Like there's things that factor there. Like, I think overall, like, also this shouldn't be the case, but it's just built into my mind. I'm just going to naturally lean towards the younger guy. Like, it shouldn't be the case. I shouldn't do it, but I'm just going to lean toward the younger guy. And I just give Jamar over Devontae. The one thing though that I'd say is, Devontae Adams is over Stephon Diggs firmly. Yeah. Yeah. That's where one thing where I knew your bias came into effect there, but I'm okay with that. That's okay.
All right. I'm going to do this 1 to 10 because I think the buildup more so is who's in the back end than who's in the front end. Okay. So here we go. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, like my first like quick little thoughts is like talking.
That 10 spot's also
GM
pretty hard
here,
to fill.
Okay, we're talking future. I think it would be difficult to find someone who would pick DK over Garrett Wilson.
I wouldn't say that.
I think it'd be difficult.
I wouldn't say that, but I would say you could make the argument.
Who's the 10th person you put there too?
Amon-Ra. I think you can make that argument.
Yeah, I mean that one. Yeah, okay. But like, I literally would rather have Garrett than DK.
I think that's also where your bias comes in.
100%.
Yes. I'm not saying that. I think Garrett Wilson is a phenomenal wide receiver, and I think that obviously given his situation now,
a top 10 receiver at the end of the year.
I could see that. I could see him leapfrogging DK, but after 1 year, like, we need to see what he can do with a capable quarterback. We've seen what DK has done with Russell Wilson and reincarnated Geno Smith, who basically found whatever shit Tom Brady's been doing for the last 20 years.
They wrote him off, but he didn't write back. Maybe that's all he needed.
But yeah, we'll see. I also did a little switch up here real quick. I put Cooper Kupp he was at 4 originally. I moved him up to 3. I had him leapfrog Jamar Chase. I think that's a little bit more fair.
I also, like, part of me thinks, like, if Kupp just didn't get hurt last year, I mean, I'm not sure if you remember. He was
the one also
still, like,
the one argument, by the way, too, that I have against Tyreek, the knock I have in Tyreek is a phenomenal. He might be the best athlete in the NFL. He's pure speed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But like on a wide receiver base, that's a whole other debate. On a wide receiver base, Tyreek, the reason why he's at 2 is because of how fast he is.
Yes.
If you're just going off of pure wide receiver traits, he's probably in the back end of that list. But that's also something to note. And I know 100% when we put this up on TikTok, it's going to be like, well, Tyreek Hill shouldn't be number 2 because he's just fast. But I mean,
like the other thing that I can is like the one thing about Tyreek though, where I will accept though, that is for how fast he is, like he sustains hits. Like he's still built. Like he's still thick. Like he's not like a little tiny little guy that you can just hit and cheap shot and knock him out of the game. Like Tyreek,
yeah, he's pretty built out.
Like it's crazy how he's able to be that fast for how
Okay,
big he is.
I'm gonna wrap this up right now for us. This game starts in 30 seconds. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok,
oh my
YouTube.
God, I'm so sorry, but congratulations, Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're gonna go to the Stanley Cup. They're up 1-0.
Yeah, there we go.
Shout them out.
You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Twitter. Oh my God. Hold on.
What's oh my promo? God. Wow.
Whoa. Thank you guys so much for watching.
They're going to be watching us for sure now. Holy shit. You really sold us.
Thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Oh my God. I gotta go. Waterboy's out.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Waterboy's out.
You can check us out in the description. I have the socials linked there. Thank
Me
you
and
guys
Grant
so
are
much.
Everest takes and Waterboy bot.
Stop talking, please.